He's back. We almost had the perfect thing of Donnie. It was just the logo. His white balance is a bit off right now. He's a little shiny.
Listen, I'm dealing with some technical difficulties here, Doug. As you know, we're late because I was running through the door from work, and my camera's a little wonky because my webcam on my phone, my MacBook won't work right now. It's killing me right now, completely killing me. So I'll be working on some stuff while you get going.
Okay, yeah. So what's been new this week? You got anything going on down your way this week at all? Any news or anything going on down there?
There's some stuff happening at the HQ, Doug. They're working on some dreams, fixing some stuff. Sure, everybody has those little goodies they can put under the tree. So stay tuned to www.titancornholebags.com and the page on the Book of Face, because some big things yet to come, Doug. Big things.
You're just it's like you're the heartbeat of the show.
Listen, every time I move, it's got to read to like stop fighting with this stupid camera.
So big thing up here this week today is that everybody can now sign up for Niagara, which what I said it before. If you want to sign up for stuff now that the website's live, so you now know the schedule for the weekend. So you can get that, but we're like already was told almost. Okay, that's new.
What's that?
I don't know who that is.
Facebook user.
It's a Facebook user.
Ah. It's a mystery, Doug. It's a mystery.
I'm looking at the chat here on the other screen down below here, and there's nobody that's not come up. So it's obviously someone that's blocked me.
I didn't block you, Doug.
Well, I'm just saying. Whoever I don't know. The ghost. We're playing ghost cornhole here. But if you are going to want to, actually no, it's someone. Oh, there. It's someone that's going. Actually, they're both sides because I see the link in the one. Actually, it doesn't show it on there anyway. But there's a link in the one, and then the other one says LOL. So I'm seeing both. So one can see on each side. So I'm not sure who that is. Anyway, so like I've kind of said before, if you want to get in on Niagara, you're going to have to get in soon because we're 1/3 sold out. We're still a couple weeks away from it, but I think it will be probably one of our biggest already. I believe we've already got after the first couple weeks of registration, we got over almost 50. Well, probably almost 60 teams here now. I'm guessing by today. So you can have that'd be almost half. And we're now probably at half because I believe it's 128, 144 teams, something like that. But yeah. I've heard that. Now you've got the. Okay.
Yeah. Now it just
change the logos.
Pissed me off, Doug.
I heard possibly a couple weeks away from talking about Quebec of that date for that. I still don't know it. I haven't put my vacation time in for it yet, so don't ask me. I don't know when it is yet. So it's Niagara here is going to be good. I can't wait for that. So that will be good. And we will have some Americans coming up to play. I don't know exactly who yet. I've just been told there is some that are coming up to play. And it should be a fantastic time for those 3 days in Niagara. You're totally gone now, aren't you?
No, I'm still here.
You're still okay.
Sorry, I'm still fighting. I'm fighting the good fight, Doug.
Yeah, your logo is now the heartbeat. Your logo is now pulsing when you talk.
Yeah.
But so the reason why we are doing this here tonight on the now I see I'm seeing an LOL here now in this chat down here on my phone. Matching an LOL on there. So Russ Fisher, what are you? I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, reason why we're doing this tonight is I was getting ready to go to a championship football game tomorrow morning which meant I have to work then tomorrow night. Got the shift switched. Then I now find out that their team is not going to be able. Their whole defensive line and starting quarterback cannot make the game, so they have now forfeited the game. So
how can they not make the game?
I don't know. Their school hasn't been in like a junior football championship in like, well, since I went to that school, even before that, which is a long time ago. But yeah, so you kind of look like a member of a band that we talked about last week.
Do I look like a certain, maybe, I don't know, what does that guy play?
Guitarist.
Yeah, guitarist, yeah. I'm better looking.
I forget his name, though. Edge.
Edge, the
That's
Edge.
it. That's it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. This is my Gloucester fisherman look, kid.
Okay. I thought it looked, actually, it kind of looks like a toque. But I guess it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what you would call a toque. It's what I would call a scully.
So last night we had our league night here in KW and went. I have to say I was absolutely myself for the first 3 games of rounders. I scored points on Crystal Hagen's the first round of my first game. That I didn't get any points the next 2 games for the rest of that game or the next 2 games. Very bad. Won my 4th game. Had some help from the my partner, but then get into the bracket, and in that bracket I get a partner of a player that I've never, first time seeing him. Okay, name was Jody. I don't know why that popped back up again. Name was Jody.
It's because I figured out how to use the buttons, Doug.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Remember, you forgot. You're now on there. So Jody was my partner. First time seeing him out to play, and I still we made the C bracket final.
All right,
but still unsure though of how we made it there, because I was wearing my great Delhi Cornhole jersey. The great Jonathan Berg gave to me.
The Facebook jersey, the Facebook stuff is coming in from my side. That's what it is. I don't know why it's not putting names in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, I've had one come up on my side. But anyway, I was wearing my great Delhi Cornhole jersey that Jonathan Berg gave to me, which I will be there November 16th doing live feeds. He's got a full junior division that I'll be doing games for, which is going to be awesome. But yeah, got jersey. I was wearing that jersey, and my partner, Joe D, was wearing that.
Now, that is the greatest cornhole shirt in the whole wide world.
We lost in the final.
Hey, listen, that's what happens when you're a Canadians fan. I mean, listen, listen.
Jody, he threw great. So yeah, it was no fault of his. I was a little off at times, but yeah.
Listen, Doug, they still have the most Stanley Cups of any team.
Well, it was, in all fairness to him, Maurice Richard shirt.
The Rocket?
Yes. Yep. Not the pocket one, the real one.
That's a different show.
No, it's his brother. His brother was the Pocket Rocket.
Yeah, so with the Pocket Rocket, though, sometimes it's a little sus, Doug, as the kids would say. A little sus.
Yeah, well, I cannot see anyone who's up. Okay, well, no, I'm seeing BJ, so I don't know. I guess it's something with me. I don't know. Do you know what I think it is? I think it is. Now I know what it is. It said that I messed up somewhere. That's what it is.
What?
It's me. It's all my fault.
Are you wearing a peanut shirt because the poor squirrel that was murdered?
No. It's a gopher. It's the prairie dog. It's the Okotoks Prairie Dogs. Okotoks Cornhole in Alberta.
I thought it was poor Peanut.
No.
So sad. Although I really dislike squirrels because I don't know if you remember that story. They ate my solar panels, little bastards.
That was because of Bruce.
Now, Bruce loves squirrels.
Yeah, I know that. We've heard that so many times. But yeah.
We did. We did upgrade to armadillos.
Yes.
Someone says they're tree rats. Yes, that's all they are.
Okay. So yeah. So I'm looking. I think it is. Can you see names on your right side or no?
I'm just seeing Facebook user.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that is my fault. So I think coming in there because StreamYard says I have 6 days to do it, and I think it went and it's picking up stuff from my personal Facebook, not down and back stuff.
Yeah, you're not linked anymore.
I'm not linked anymore. So that's the reason for that. So it'll be I'll be guessing. I'll have to look here. And I was like, oh, that's not someone I know. But although I can see your face in your comment on your side.
Well, that's because I linked it through my Facebook, and I do what StreamYard tells me to do. And
whatever. So anyway, so Dale Parsons now has a set of darts. He got rid of that ultra bag one, and he's now using darts.
What was he throwing?
He's throwing ultras.
Which ones? Was he throwing like the Vipers?
I think so.
Ugh. It's better than people that throw psychos, though. Like anybody that throws cycles really need to
he was on the R's.
Got to get themselves checked a bit. You know, them people are a little sus, as the kids say.
Okay. Yes, to the person in the green room, I see your thing and gone. But yeah, so then we've also got the stars thing that I'm doing on my side for the Facebook stars. So if I get to on the down and back side, if I get to 10,000 stars in the month of November, I'm going to be giving away a East Coast Cornhole down and back collab jersey, which we still have to do a down and back voice East Coast collab jersey. Right, we got to do one of those up sometime.
Is that 10,000 in like kilometers, or is that like US or?
Well, just stars. 10,000 stars. Stars. So yeah, so we're going to be doing that. And for that, we've got the jersey everyone's seen with the St. John's landscape in the back.
That's a beautiful jersey.
For anyone who's actually subscribed to the channel, I put it out this afternoon. So there's 16 people got to see that today. And what that's going to look like is, so when I get to 10,000 stars, we will do a draw of people who've given stars. We'll get a chance to win this jersey. This brand new jersey with the black. It'll just kind of be black with the design on it. And there's another, you can see a new logo up in the corner of that. On the right side of the shirt.
It's a beautiful, well, and right down in the middle lower back there.
Right in the middle, yeah. That tramp stamp spot in the middle of the jersey. Because if you're in Newfoundland or anywhere, East Coast Cornhole will now be selling Titan bags.
Well, can I ask a question? Can you bring that picture back up for a second?
Yep. That one?
That one right there, yeah. So, Is the one your PPR? Sorry, couldn't help myself. Sorry.
Oh, and Derek Barrett, right on cue, sends stars. Like he's already got one of those there. So let's anyway. But helping other people get along. Voice is going.
Oh, mine's already toast, dude. Mine is like so shredded right now. I've got like 3 Ricolas in my mouth right now, just trying to keep my throat. You'll see me muting every once in a while to.
BJ, if you're making the comment on mine, I have my phone here, and my phone is actually showing me who's actually making the comments. It's just StreamYard here that's not happy with me right now. They're like, it's not Saturday night. What are you doing? So,
yeah, it's one of those does not follow directions. Just hits agree.
Okay, well, apparently Byron has now just sent stars and activated a stars. First time I had a stars party on this year.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's that. I can't wait for Niagara here coming up. Like I said, there's gonna be some great players, and live feed will sound a little different, and even look a little different. I'm gonna be meeting up with Corey, sometime next week or so, getting some new stuff, some new graphics, and it should be fun. Should be good for that there. And then if you are in Delhi coming up on the 16th, I will have these. Very nice. Same with my hat. I can put like another one on my hat. Like zero. These here East Coast Cornhole patches. I've already sold a couple. Got a bunch left that I'll have for sale there. And then myself and probably a whole bunch of other people will have them in Niagara.
So, Doug, I have a question for you. I saw this on the book page today, and I need your opinion because somebody's saying that numbers should not be on jerseys.
I've seen that. You know what? I'm 50-50 on it, to tell you the truth.
I like the numbers, though. It gives people some individuality. You know
what I mean? Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm 50-50.
I just think I like the element to it because it makes, because most people that are getting jerseys and numbering them, most of them are part of a larger group. So it really makes it a little better when you have the kind of the number on it. You know what I mean? Like I always go for my go-to. My go-to is 13. Yep. My other number would be 33, but not for Larry Bird. It would be for the greatest goalie in the whole wide world.
Don Beaupre? He's local to here, so I got to say that.
But what would you put there though if you don't have the number? Would you put extra sponsor stuff there, Doug?
I guess you could put extra sponsor stuff if you wanted. Some bigger sponsor logos, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, because that would just that's a pretty big real estate and void on the back. I wouldn't want to put any stains on it, with big other logos, but
yeah.
But I mean, I just think it's a lot of real estate to leave blank. So, it's something. It's worth a conversation out there. I'd love to hear what other people think, but I'm not really sure about the number or no number. Don't care.
Yeah, I'm kind of if that. So the other thing that I'd seen on the Book of Face today was something I put out on my. If anyone's seen it, I put it on my personal page. You talk about sponsors and what people. And I know people are going to say, and this is nothing against the ACL. People are going to say, "Oh, they're going to start doing this, But it's like I don't think they really care. But there is one certain sports franchise that is worth $3.66 billion.
Well, they could be worth more if they won.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so there's someone that does videos like this, and they put them out on, I believe it's either YouTube or TikTok or something. That their whole rec room is just this team's logo everywhere. Like they've got it. It's like someone threw up their logo all over the place. It's kind of really ugly. But anyway, that this person does logo, and they talk about crushing Bud Lights all the time while watching the game and in their MLSE room, right? And so they got a phone call or a letter or something from the franchise saying, "Our sponsors aren't happy that you're doing this. Could you please not put our logo in your videos?" Kind of hard when that's a lot of tape to put over stuff. But then they got the cease and desist order from the other beer company that actually sponsors the team saying, you can no longer do videos in your rec room.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's kind of crappy. Listen, I understand they have a contract, right? But I think the guy's not saying he's part of the organization, right? No. He doesn't speak for the organization. He's just some guy that likes a shitty team that has a deep following. I mean, I think that's crappy when they start to pull that stuff, and especially when you start to get like cease and desist and you use our intellectual property. Yeah, like what's the guy maybe making like a couple bucks off his YouTube page?
Oh, probably.
But you've actually kind of hurt your brand a little more.
Because he's now put a video out saying this.
Yeah, like
And other people have caught on.
But the guy bought every dude. It's like me and Titan, right?
Yes.
Like I've got almost every piece of Titan gear. Maybe not one, but two pieces of Titan gear, right? So if I was doing a video and I wasn't friends with them, and I get a cease and desist, that kind of hurts the brand a little bit. You know what I mean? Where I'm an Uber fan, bringing more people, more eyes on the Maple Leafs. I mean, I think
you said it.
What?
Actually, you want? I just seen something. I'll be back in a second.
All right, but you're bringing more eyes to the organization, people. Why would you be so shitty to tell the one guy that actually still likes the team and buys the gear to stop? Come on. He should come to the other side, drink Miller Lite, and go to the best team in hockey. Go to the Canadiens. Because guess what? They just like to crush beers and dreams by winning Stanley Cups. Doug, I riffed for a few minutes there while you were gone. Don't worry, I kept everybody interested.
Let's see how I can do this here now. There's a beer logo. Go Leafs, go! I can't really say that with that can, right?
But that's an even shittier team.
It's a really good can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The can isn't even worth the bottle deposit.
Well, you normally get a bottle deposit on a can.
Oh, no. So now you're going to fucking play semantics? I mean, seriously. You can get a bottle deposit on a can.
You get a can deposit on a can.
I'm going to give you a deposit.
Okay, so we've had a guest sitting down below that I said was going to come in. And so we will bring her in now because she is fresh off. You want to try something? Look at that.
Woo! Yeah, we're side by side.
We're getting big now.
Wow, Doug has learned a button. Maybe not the button to see the chat, but he's learned.
No, I didn't. It's that, but yeah.
He's learned another button.
Yeah,
I have
forgot a different one, but
well, I did what it. Yeah, it was user error. Yeah.
Listen, shit happens.
Yeah.
Right? What's going on, guys?
What's happening, Mitch? How we doing?
Not much. Doing all right.
All right.
So you're now a couple weeks back from Battle of the Queens. So let us know what that was like being in North Carolina.
It was a good event. It was definitely different. As I've stated before, for anybody who hasn't gone to a bigger event in the States, it's a bit of a walk into a brick wall effect, because the tension's really heavy, right? And we've had those discussions before where a lot of the events in the States are, you walk in and you can just feel the tension because everyone's so serious. This was a little lighter in the fact that, there was, I would say, a good portion of the women that were there just to have a good time. And that was supposed to be the point of the event. And then there were some that, maybe that is their way of having a good time, just getting serious about the game. I just went to have a good time and throw bags and meet new people. And I think that's what Jody did too. And, it was definitely different. I would do it again. It would be a really awesome trip to have with a group of women. But Jody and I, we had a good weekend, and she was throwing lights out all weekend, right? She definitely represented, and a lot of people were like, "Wow, you came all the way from Canada." And of course, the way that the geographics go, to them, Canada is just one country. There's no split of anything, right? It's just we're from Canada. That's it. Done.
Yeah, you're from above.
So.
Yeah, it's. But yeah, so you actually didn't do too bad in some of the events because there was a bunch of events there that weekend, and I did notice that it wasn't an all. Like, I thought it was an all female event, but they did have some like blind draws and stuff that.
Yeah, so what they were doing is on the Friday, we started with a crew cup, and it was a blind draw crew cup. So that was pretty cool because you didn't know your teammates, right? So it's a good way of getting out there and meeting new people. It was a little confusing at first because, of course, you get your names of your teammates, but if you don't know these people, how do you find them? So, but we found them. Everyone found each other. I was joking around with Cheyenne and Sam Finley, and I said, well, at least everyone knows who you are, so your teammates should be able to find you. But anybody else, we didn't know who they were. So, but it got rocking and rolling, and it was a good time. Lots of laughs, definitely during that. And then later that night, they actually had 2 blind draws that night. So they had a co-ed blind draw. And some of the American male pros were there, like the Gore brothers were there. Eric Davis was there, that sort of thing. And then they had an all women's blind draw. And so, I threw against some guys that weren't so friendly. And then I threw one, of course, that was super awesome. And he's like, wow, Canada, that's a fun trip. And, I want to come up to Canada. And you get into that discussion of which part, and, just Canada. I just start laughing. But, and then singles came along the next day, and I left my arm at the border apparently, but I was trying to have a good time anyway. And Jody threw lights out and made tier 1. And so, we had a good day, and then we found ourselves a great Mexican restaurant that night and put ourselves into food coma. And then, doubles, we rocked it. Jody and I had never thrown together before, but we managed to pull it together and fairly quickly, and we rocked it. We went 4-2 in rounders, and then tied for, I think it was 13th overall out of 128 teams.
Yeah, I think you bring up a great point with some of the stuff down here in the States, where you get some people that show up and they're so goddamn uptight, and they're so worried about like cornhole. Like, I think the ACL should go for a Kingsford sponsorship, because we could take one of those little charcoal briquettes and put it up some of these people's asses and make diamonds. Jesus Christ. It's friggin' beanbags, people.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, the first guy I threw against in the co-ed blind draw, because it's supposed to be a fun, friendly event, you go, hi, my name is Michelle, where are you from? And you get Indiana. And that's it. And he just went dead serious. And I almost turned around and went, dude, you're at an all women's event. Like, what were you expecting? We're here to have a good time.
Yep.
Right? So, and the second guy wasn't any friendlier. So I kind of went that night. I went away with a sour taste in my mouth, because I was like, really? And,
I think we talked after that, and you were like, I just don't know if this is for me. And I was like, give it a chance. There's some people down there that you're gonna love to hang out with. And I think
like Michelle Horde. Michelle Horde was absolutely hilarious. Who? Yeah, who? Mitchie, my girl Mitchie, because we met each other in the crew cup, and when she saw my jersey, she said, "You are the only other Michelle that I know that's nicknamed Mitch." And so we hit it off right away, right? So yeah, it was absolutely hilarious. So, and we're still chatting because she gets called Flamingo and I get called Flamingo up here. So I was like, okay, we got to stop this, like, either side of the border, the similarity, right?
Well,
but
I think it's hilarious that I was talking to you the night before, and you're like, yeah, I don't think I've met her. I don't know who this person is. And then the next day you text me with LOL, LOL. I've been talking to her all weekend.
And that was it. Like, you got to know a lot of people's first names, but not necessarily their last names, right? So, like, I will say, though, Saturday during singles, in the rounders, I threw against a 13-year-old young lady named Kylie Johnson. And that girl was throwing fire. Absolute fire. She schooled me in no time flat. And I said to her, I said, how many people underestimate you because you're tiny? And she was very petite. And she said, a lot. And I said, and how many people do you hand them their asses? And she said, a lot. And I said, just keep going, girl. Just keep going. Right? Because that's the next generation too. So you have women. I think the oldest woman I met was 72, right down into the lower teens. So you have women of all ages at this event, right? But they're the next generation. So what they're looking at is the older generations. And if you're walking into what's supposed to be a fun event, and you're all dead serious as if there's like $50,000 on the line, there's a problem there.
Well, can I bring up a fun fact?
Sure.
So, why was this tournament created? It was created to bring women into the game. And if guys are going to show up and be complete assholes, it's not going to bring more women into the game. So it defeats the whole purpose of what they're trying to do. Like this one here, this is from Mike Hoffman. At least you got an answer, right? Sometimes you get less than that, right? And that happens all over the place. It's not just men or women. It happens a lot of tournaments you go to. But the whole purpose of a Monday night blind draw, the whole purpose of these special events is to bring more people in. So there's not going to be that $50,000 tournament in your backyard if you're an asshole.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know, and I think that's what I was disappointed in. I wasn't disappointed in the event itself. I was disappointed in those people.
Well,
right?
You can't hold it against everybody else. It's that one person, right? And listen, they might have been having a bad game, a bad round, but at the same time, you're there to reach out to other people, right? You know, everybody thinks you drove a tremendous distance. You drove a very good distance, but I think it was easier for you to get down there than it is to get to me. I think when we looked at it on the map, I think it's harder for you to come over to me.
It's actually, so it's not. And our trip actually got changed. I think it was about 2 weeks beforehand. We ended up not driving because Jody was on vacation the week coming up to Battle of the Queens. So she was actually in Cancun. So she flew from Cancun to Charlotte, and I managed to find a cheap enough flight from Buffalo to Charlotte. Okay. So I drove to Buffalo and then flew down to Charlotte. But for me to drive down, it's like 14 hours if I were to drive down there, whereas I think to you it's like 9 or 10.
It's 10, yeah. It's just a little harder because you got to scoop up and around. You got to go around the Great Lakes and go through that goofy city with the big waterfall.
Yeah.
So, well, speaking of that goofy city with the big waterfall, I think we're going to have a contest. Where is Jody going to go to Niagara Falls from? Because Ottawa, for our ACL Nationals, she came from Hawaii.
Right
to the Nationals. That tournament, which would have been our next, she would have been going from Cancun to Calgary. But she went Cancun to North Carolina. I keep forgetting the name where there was actually in. But yeah, so where is she coming from?
She's the one that flew over Spencer's to go to that little
camp,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That little
that's a good contest to have because I don't know if she has any trips right before Niagara. I know while we were down there on the Friday night, she was still throwing in the blind draw. I had stepped outside because I had already been knocked out, and it was right in time to watch the pro teams draft from Calgary. So I'm streaming it at the back of the venue outside, and Daniel Vines and Carl Menard get up, and they start speaking French, and every person in the smoking area all turned to look at me because I had it on speakerphone. And they were like, what are you watching? What language is that? I was like, oh, that's French. Why are you listening to French?
Well,
I was like, I'm a Canadian.
Quebec French seems a little more angry, though. When I was in Quebec and they were speaking French, it just seemed a little harsher. I don't know what it is, but it was just like more.
It can to people who don't know it. I know one of the guys from AAR. I was laughing because he's like, so you're Canadian, and I said, yeah, and he said, I know one sentence, and I said, okay, and he rhymed it off, and it was, what is your name? And I started giggling, and I said, so you want a really good sentence? And he said, sure. And I said, but you have to say it very angry, like with attitude, like you're insulting them. And he said, okay. And I said, tu es le pamplemousse. And he got it down, and he goes, okay, now what does that mean? And I said, you just called someone a grapefruit.
What did he do with the moose?
It's I taught him how to call somebody a grapefruit in French. But the thing is that if nobody knows what you're saying, and you say really any language, somebody doesn't know what you're saying, and you say it with attitude and anger, it can sound like an insult.
Listen, I took 4 years of French in high school, and the only thing I remember from that is les ananas ne parlent pas. because when you had to watch those stupid pineapples that speak French, my teacher was in love with the show. And pineapple.
I just seen a video on Facebook that like I think I'll say, do you remember the show?
Yeah, dude. I'm like, we're watching it, and I'm like, we're learning how to speak French from pineapples. What?
Yeah, well,
what is wrong with this education?
maybe if you would have learned from someone that was actually a person, you wouldn't have ordered 4 meals at once. At
maybe.
Maybe
The pineapples made me do it.
that was exactly it. The pineapples made you do it. So, no, I'm looking forward to Niagara. It'll be. I think we should have a contest. Where is Jody flying from this time?
Yes, yeah.
I love that.
I think that'd be a good contest. So now for tomorrow, you are going to a regional tomorrow.
Yeah.
Up here with the 4 joke guys and James and the crew. They put on fabulous events. If I wasn't working tomorrow, I'd be going because I need to get down to them once. But yeah, you're going to be going down there. You and Steve will be throwing down there at that regional.
Yep. Yeah, it's for a joke. You know, I love going to their events. They're always great events, and it's kind of become like my home away from home, oddly enough. But you know, as soon as one pops up, if Steve and I can make it, we're typically there, right? So, and it's worth, I think it's like an hour 20 for us to get down there. So, but yeah, it's always good. You know, you get there 11:30 warm up, and then we're home usually by, I don't know, 9-10 o'clock at night. You know, just in time to watch you guys normally on a Saturday night and watch it in the car and then, you know, laugh our asses off. So,
yeah, well, it could have still happened, but people decided to not play football. But anyway, yeah, so that. But then you are not going to be in Delhi the weekend after when I'm in Delhi. You're taking a family weekend off.
You know what? Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, this weekend's going to be my 5th weekend in a row. And, you know, somebody said, really, like, you're not going to play for 2 weeks? And I said, you know, sometimes I got to remember that I'm a mom before my kids, you know, don't want to hang out with me type thing. And sometimes I forget that I'm a mom, right? Because I'm here, there, and everywhere else. So, and the kids don't want to come; they get bored, and I get it. So they stay home with my husband, and I go and play. But yeah, I need the 2 weekends off, you know, because then we've got Niagara, and you're looking at, you know, anywhere from 10 to 14-hour days at that point, right?
Listen,
so will the kids be with you in Niagara? Because I know last night at Cornhole, you just pawned Sam off on Jamie Grulich,
well, Jamie and Sam threw together at Cornapalooza, and they had a really great time, right? And that's what the game is supposed to be about, because even Jamie last night was like, well, you know, I don't think Sam wants to throw with me. And I was like, Sam just wants to have fun and throw bags. You know, that's all he wants to do. And so, yeah, as soon as I got home last night, I was like, hey, by the way, you're going to partner up with Jamie. And he's like, awesome. I was going to message her anyway, right? Because she's there. But no, the kids for weekends like that are gonna stay home, and my parents will come up and watch them. My parents I've been really fortunate that all of my parents have all chipped in on babysitting and whatnot when it's needed. So, you know, especially now that I'm starting a new job next week, and even then, trying to explain to a new job that, yeah, hi, I'd like employment, but, you know, can I have some days off for tournaments because this is what I do? And honestly, I had 2 interviews with the same company this week, and the second one was with the president of the company. And I explained what I do in my off time, and he's like, oh, we'll have to put a set of boards outside. I was like, yeah, okay, I want to work here.
Okay, so you got a new sponsor. So the other thing was, and when you did get home and tell him that he's going to be playing with Jamie, did you tell him that that at Jamie's request that they're going to be, I'm going to go live for Rounders because Jamie's asked me to, and that him and Jamie will be first game on the Rounders?
No, I forgot about that.
Okay. Yeah. Jamie kept saying she wanted to be on the live feed, so we're gonna put her and Sam on the live feed.
You know what? And it's funny because Sam's kind of oblivious to that sort of stuff. You know, playing semi-pro paintball and the stuff that he's done for the last umpteen years, that wouldn't even faze him. Jamie, it would freak her out, and he'd be standing at the end of the court going, what is wrong with you? What is going on? I don't understand why you're freaking out, right?
Well, she has requested it, so, you know, I have to, you know.
Oh, she's going to murder you is what it's going to end up happening. She's gonna walk over and kick you in the shin on the live stream.
So we'll have her on the live stream and play Wagon Wheel, so we'll just keep everybody happy the whole time.
Wait,
You're gonna be black and blue by the end of it.
who likes tacos, Doug?
I don't know. Like, it hasn't come up in my chat.
Oh, and eat tacos. So that was because the one conference we did.
Okay, I know that.
We did in Niagara had the tequila fest next door.
Yes, next door.
Yeah, that's when my husband turned into.
Please, nobody get offended or anything, because I don't know another name for it, but they had the Lucha Libre wrestlers, like the Mexican wrestling, and it was all, and they had the midget wrestling. I don't know any other word for it.
Yeah.
Yes,
that night, that whole event was hilarious, having that tequila fest next to us. But that what Steve's commenting on is the fact that my husband, who's usually the mild mannered one, kind of disappeared into tequila fest. May have spent a good amount of money. Even came back dancing with tacos for Matt Plyle. Even Matt was giggling. He's like, "I've never seen your husband like this."
I would like to see Sam like that, because he's just
yeah.
I don't want to say he's like a bored, but he's like I would love to see Sam like that.
I saw the greatest TikTok video this week about tequila. It's this poor girl. She's probably like 22, 23. She's in an alleyway, and she looks, and the video starts with her back to the camera, and she turns around. She goes, "I thought it was a lemon drop. I didn't know it was tequila." she didn't throw.
Well, maybe.
But it was just, that gag reflex from saying tequila. It's the
best
I ever say it.
Well, maybe it is a tequila, because Mitch, you may have seen me in St. John's. That started off with Adele from St. John's handing me a tequila shot.
Adele?
Yep.
Hello? No.
she does sing, but maybe she'll sing at the next one. I don't know. But yeah.
And that was the thing. And tomorrow, while I'm in St. Thomas, is the KW Tequila Festival.
Yeah, well, you'll have fun at home.
Yeah, when I get home, Sam might not be here. He might still be at the Tequila Festival.
Why is there so many tequila festivals in fucking Canada?
Because we like our tequila.
Jesus. You have more.
And just up the road where I work, there is a bunch of Mennonites up there that are from Mexico.
Wait a minute. How far is just up the road in Canada?
Well, it's about 20 minutes.
Okay, but I'm still stuck on the whole Mennonites from Mexico.
Yeah.
What?
When did that?
I don't know. They're all up there, and they all have their license plate from Chihuahua, Mexico.
Every time you say that, all I can think of is Ann Menon, that stupid commercial about like fucking deodorant or whatever it was. Mennonites in Mexico. What the? Seriously.
Hey.
In your Chihuahua from Mexico there too, about like dogs and where they were in Labrador and friggin'.
Well, the dogs are from a region of a country.
The dogs are from their parent dogs.
From that region of a country.
Chihuahuas.
My daughter used to call them Chihuahuas when she was little. She goes, "Dad, I want a Chihuahua." Speaking of my daughter, Doug, I need to talk to the fans for a second here.
Have you found where you're going yet?
What's that?
Well, last week you had the interviews.
We had the interviews. I need help. If anybody knows any college cheerleading coaches, reach out to me. I need some help here. Daddy needs to spend more money in cornhole, not in college. My daughter's a sophomore. Got a couple years to figure this out, kids. Help a brother out. All right? She could do her twisties and tumblies. Listen, I don't know. I got a tumble track in the backyard. I don't know why the hell I bought it. It's because she wanted it.
Because it's 27 feet, so you can put a board at each end.
No, but my backyard slopes, so she's usually trying to do it uphill. It's a whole mess. It's a nightmare. Listen, I
tried to play cornhole like that too.
Yeah. Yeah, but your uphill is just trying to get it uphill the board.
Actually, you know what? No, I won throwing uphill in Charlotte. In a board shaped like this. It was a Coke can.
Yeah, but that's just because one leg was shorter than the other because you were in a hole and drunk.
Well,
Yeah,
and the bags were 3 ounces.
we were actually talking about that last night where at Cornapalooza, because there was one stretch that was just slightly inclined. So at one end, when you were throwing singles, you could throw 8s, 9s, 10s. The other ends, it was like 2s and 3s into the wind uphill.
We had a Thursday night around here where it's in a parking lot of a bar, and they're gracious enough to let us play there. But some of the boards, if you played boards 12 through 15, you were throwing uphill or downhill. So literally, you'd see people almost standing behind the board, almost just trying to like hit the front edge of the board just to keep it on. And then the other people are like friggin' throwing it like a discus, just trying to get it up the hill, across the wind, and onto the board. So you're going to have that every once in a while. It's going to happen.
It makes it fun. It makes it a little more challenging.
And here's the thing. When you go to stuff like that, like we said, most of the time you're there just to hang out and have fun, right?
Yep.
Well, and we were talking about that throughout the week, is the sense that the majority of us started as backyard players. Whose flipping backyard is perfectly level?
Oh, wait, I just said it wasn't.
Right. I was going to say, wait a second. Don't you have a tumbler track that's like uphill? What are you talking about?
Not flat at all. I've had 3 contractors come in and try to fix it. And it's still not level.
But that's the thing. Like we've all had to shim boards and try to twist it this way, and maybe if we move it over a couple of inches. We all started out that way.
Well, and here's the other thing, though. If you're going to take a level and put it on your boards to see how level it is, like, are you really a true cornhole player? Right? Just it's like NASCAR. Run what you brung, right? Let's just get out there and let's just throw some bags, have some fun. Because we played a couple tournaments on the beach, and I don't care how much you try to level that board on the beach.
Not gonna level at all.
You can't, because you try to dig it in, but when you dig it into the sand to try to make it level, now the board's actually at a lower angle. So no matter what shot you're throwing, unless you're a really high arc player, if you're a kind of a lower shot, it's going to kick off the back. You're gonna have a lot of ugliness throwing. So, just have fun. Come on.
It was funny because that was one of the things with Battle of the Queens. We had the majority of the courts were on turf. The rest of the courts were on basketball courts. And we ended up with 3 different conditions of boards. Right? And then we had boards because, of course, they're all direct print. We had boards where the designs were so busy, you kind of lost your bag in them. Right? So then you get into backyard mode because, well, we've all been there. So I think actually our last doubles game, the design had almost like a circus big top tent. And the woman that we finished playing against, she goes, "Wow, thanks for throwing in the big top with me. Have a great day."
No,
that's perfect one for my game. Is just throwing a circus.
You should just have circus peanuts. The peanut, not peanuts. What? Peanuts. Circus peanuts. The worst candy ever made. Circus peanuts should be on there. Not circus penis, kids. That's a different story.
Well, that would just make the whole event at Battle of the Queens real interesting, wouldn't it, with a group of women?
So again, I have to say, anyone in the chat, if you're making a comment, we're not ignoring you. We just can't see who you are because somebody on the panel here did something wrong, so we can no longer see people.
That's the first logo you see at the top of the page.
Graham didn't do anything. It wasn't East Coast Cornhole.
Top of the page.
In the middle? The logo that's in the middle?
All right.
So, Donnie, I am disappointed, Donnie, that you're not coming up to Niagara, though.
Listen,
Michelle, can you guess who said this?
That's one of my besties.
Derek with a P.
Yep.
Dude, that one night we were all together.
And then you know that this is Steve.
Mm-hmm.
If he said that joke one more time, I was going to have to hurt him. I'm like, really, dude? If you have to explain the joke, it's not funny anymore. No, but I would love to get to Niagara. It's just I'm in the prime season of work where it gets crazy and busy, and I need to reserve some PTO for later on in the year for events that I really want to get to, because I really want to get to, like, St. John's is definitely a lock. I'm just gonna finish the final couple details there.
Just gotta get your train involved for your planes, trains, and automobiles.
I did find a boat. It's just a really slow boat. It's a tugboat to get me up there. Maybe a crab boat, because they kind of go that way, right? No, definitely going to be in St. John's. I have to secure my spot to Spencer's. I need my sponsor to pick up that check. Hint, hint. And then
if they need an assistant for you, they could pick up another check.
And I know we have a mutual friend, Doug, that may be from a different bag company from California.
Oh, okay, yes, yeah.
That wants to come up and go to a reservation to play up there. So we still got to work out the details with him, because I know he's still talking about that. So we'll see what happens there, because I would definitely, for me, that's an easy drive. I mean, 10-hour drive to come see you, and then
we'll have to talk about that one. Yeah.
No, but whatever it is to finish it off, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We can figure that out to get up there. But I know Maddie wants to do that. Oh, look, wait. There's a name in there now. Oh, it's because
he's on YouTube. See, Chris is smart. Chris goes to YouTube.
Well, if somebody hit both buttons,
that'll be you.
What? Yeah.
That's on you. That's not on me. That's on you.
I'm supposed to be the tech guy. I'm supposed to help out here. But I couldn't even get my damn camera to work.
This is formerly Sato, now Angel.
What's up, Sato? How you doing, baby love? Here's the thing. I love that man to death. He does some great work in the area. We've talked about it. That's another thing I want to try to get to, Doug. I want to try to get to his Cancer Sucks tournament.
Yes. Yep, for sure.
Her mic is way louder than your two mics.
It's because I don't know if he probably hasn't been in a room with Michelle, because she's pretty loud.
I was gonna say it's because I don't have a volume button. Like, I personally don't have a volume button.
Yeah, we're both going through mixing boards to bring ourselves down. And Mitch is not a downer; she's an upper.
Oh, yeah.
In more ways than one.
Yeah.
Donnie, you weren't supposed to say anything.
Actually, you finished in the money last night too, didn't you? At League Night in KW?
Not on the Monday. Nope.
But last night.
No, I've quite honestly, I've been struggling with singles. I've been struggling with singles for quite a while, and I don't know why.
You didn't play singles last night?
No, I played doubles, but Monday night was singles, right? Yep, and almost every event in singles, I don't know. I get into my head or whatever it is, but obviously it's something that I got to figure out.
But you were still playing late last night, though. Were you not?
Yeah, we placed fourth. Adrian and I placed fourth.
Okay.
So it wasn't bad. Poor Adrian. He kind of, I think Crystal got in his head, and it wasn't anything she said or did. It was just he was like, "Oh, I'm throwing against Crystal," and that was it. He kind of lost it on that one, right? So. But
Crystal was. Chris struggles with being single too as well, but yeah. But she was throwing her new bag sponsor last night, her American bag sponsor in Canada. Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Well, she's totally be throwing Reynolds.
Who?
Crystal Higgins.
No. What company?
Reynolds, your bestest friend who ignores you.
I love that man.
So yeah,
the man who runs away in a beer line. He actually tried to hide behind that guy too, which was really hurtful.
Was he hiding from you?
What?
Was he hiding from you?
What?
It was kind of hard for him to hide behind that because Jeff's pretty tall. and the guy that was behind him in line in between you and him was kind of short.
I think he was ducking though. He was trying to duck, but it's only because he loves me. Come on, that's why he wants me to chase him. It's like we're back in third grade and he's pulling my hair.
I'm not touching it.
That's what he said. Yeah. No, Jeff is great. Jeff's awesome. It was one of I think that was the second or third bag I ever threw was Reynolds bags, because that was way back in the Pro Advantage days.
I still remember my first time throwing a Pro Advantage, and now that I bring it up, Robbie Graham, I apologize for that, because that was down in Cherokee, North Carolina, which the man that said this comment was there as well. Mr. Pohl was there for that first Worlds, when it was where it was a Worlds for the ACL, because it was the first time a Canadian team went down. But I got to Reynolds Pro Advantages. I'd only thrown slide rights up until then, and it was just I couldn't keep that bag on the board.
Well, the Pro Advantage really for me kind of worked back when I got it, just because I had a little bit of a higher throw, so I could kind of get it to settle. When that material first came out, if someone had a low kind of line drive shot, if they threw on the harder side and you weren't dead nut straight in the middle, it was a little harder to get in. Where, slide right at that point was the better bag if you were a lower thrower, right? Because it literally hit the board, settled. You might have got a little pop and fold over. So it worked for more people because in back then too, there was a lot different technology for, the tops, right? It was about polyurethane and some other stuff. You really didn't have the printing and other things that are working today.
Yep.
So it made it very different to play back then. That's why, I love every once in a while bringing back slide right tournaments or other bag tournaments where everybody has to play that same bag, especially on newer boards, because even though you might have mastered that bag way back in the day, it might not work the same way today.
Not at all.
With board technology, right? Especially, like on an X Factor board, because a lot of times with that slide right, it would hit where the board didn't have a brace, and you would get that pop, right? It would kind of come up off the board a bit and then maybe fold over or just kind of head towards the hole.
Yep.
Where with some of these new boards with the different bracing, it literally, that bag might just stop almost like a Jekyll and slide and not move for you, where then you got to try to push through it or do some other things. So I like how, technology has changed the game, but also I like how you can bring some of this retro stuff back to really challenge people as you start to move forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that was the annoyance with the board conditions at Battle of the Queens, and the fact that you had 3 separate board conditions. I've thrown my energies for a year and a half, and I love my energies, and they're a 6-8. They're a faster bag. I can throw my fast bags typically on fast boards and still be able to block because I figured how to throw them. I couldn't do that down there. I think like halfway through Saturday, I was like, can I just get a set of Jekyll and slides, please? Because that's pretty much what I would need at this point.
Well, but the thing too is, right, from where you are in Canada, right, to where you were playing down in the Carolinas, you also got to factor in. There's another piece that you got to factor in, as it's the humidity, right?
Yeah.
The humidity where you are is very different than the humidity down in the Carolinas, where you're talking, some of those boards are gonna play very different, especially where they sit in the venue, right?
Right.
This one might be near the door. This one might be on turf. This one might be where the vent pushes all the air conditioning down. Right?
Oh, absolutely. And somebody had made a comment to me about it on Saturday about how certain boards were sticking. And I made the point of saying, yesterday you had, let's say, 300 people in this venue. And it was a beautiful venue. It was a great sports complex. But the AC's on, right? I didn't get overheated at all. It was great. Saturday, it's hot and muggy outside. You now have a basketball tournament going on in the same venue as us. The only thing separating is like a net curtain. So you've got added humidity, right? Yeah, the boards are going to start reacting. Like I had my pants curled up above my knees. I had my sleeves rolled up as much as I could. It was hot in there, right? So yeah, the boards are going to start getting sticky, but only certain boards.
Well, and that's the thing too. But then you add a set of broadcast boards in, not some of the broadcast boards that like me and Doug do. But you add like an ESPN broadcast board in there, right? You put those big ass lights down on those boards, and you put another like 100 to 200 people around those boards. The conditions are going to change a bit. Your back not going to react the same it did on court 52. It is truly going to make you play a different game.
For sure.
Wow, someone wants a bra and underwear tournament.
That would be my partner.
Yeah. And Derek is saying you're a professional, Mitch. You have to adjust the conditions. Yeah.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Yes.
No, but that makes the difference there, right? And it's not about you adjusting; it's about helping the people around you adjust too, right? Because the boards are going to play different, right? That's why when people bring their Zukas and stuff over to the courts, try to get to that court as quick as you can to throw a couple down and backs with a couple of different sets, right? Maybe you only throw 2 and 2 of a set of bags, maybe if you have to, right? Because until it's live, it doesn't count. So you just got to experiment a little just to get used to what that board's going to do.
Well, and that's it. And because we didn't drive, we were limited on the bags that we could take, right? Because we have to check ours. So when Jody said, what should I take? I said, take a slower set of bags and take a faster set of bags because we don't know what we're walking into, right? Whereas I took slower and then kind of slow, fast, and then faster ones. I threw my energies maybe twice the whole weekend in 2 games, and that was it. So, and even then, I seriously had to lob them. I kind of giggled. There was a woman from Georgia who came up to me after rounders on Sunday, and she said, can you show me how to throw? You've got one of the most graceful throws. Well, if anybody's watched me throw, I do not have a graceful throw at all. It looks like I'm going to launch the bag across the room. But I spent 20 minutes with her, and, I showed her and I said, look, everyone figures out a grip that works for them. Everyone figures out whether they're going to stand still, put the feet one in front of the other, whatever they're going to do. Everybody, you figure out what works best for you. And she's, well, how do you do that? I said, you just got to throw more. You got to just take the time and practice and not get frustrated. It's not a fast process. It really isn't.
Well,
so
on the question that's on the screen, how do you mitigate challenges from board to board? It's the same thing, right? You got to just figure it out. And by playing on many, many different boards, you kind of get a little bit of an inkling of what you need to change and what you need to do.
Absolutely.
But to your point, it is bringing a couple different bags with you and being okay with being able to switch maybe halfway through a tournament or halfway through rounders.
Well, and that's it. Some people, then most of the time I'll ask for 1 down and back, not a big deal. But if I'm kind of unsure of the boards, especially if someone said, oh, these boards, you got to watch it, then yeah, you definitely ask for 2 down and backs, right? And try to figure it out. Maybe it's going to take a couple of ends.
Yeah, and then to Chris's other question here is, and that is now where next year there will be stamped boards coming into play where you have to have, it's only certain board makers that'll be able to have boards at the bigger events.
Right.
Well, but the tough part there too is, you're going to have the same boards, right? So you're going to have the boards are going to be controlled. The bags are not going to be controlled, right? So you're going to have to play stamp bags, stamp boards. But you're never going to take the conditions factor out of it, right? It's just not going to happen. And that I know who that is. That's Derek.
Yeah.
Or is that Derek or TJ?
That's Derek.
But you can't take the conditions out of it because you may have the same thing we have up here, right? We play in a big sports complex up here, up in New Hampshire. Sean Haley, our local director, has a really good relationship with a sports complex where we play on turf and there's a basketball court, but usually we play on one or the other. We usually sometimes don't have the mix. But if I play on the ones on the way far side back from the entrance, there's a big garage door there where they can bring in equipment and bring in other stuff. And that's where families come in and out that door. And though it's colder down at that end. So if I'm throwing down this way, I know that board's a little colder, so my bag might stop a little bit. But the person throwing back up, that board might be a little faster because it's under a light. So you got to kind of figure out, even between teammates at that time, how you switch it back and forth.
Well, and see, Chris actually asked a really good question, because you get, yes, next year's ACL stamp boards, but when you get into all the different organizations, like up here, it's ACL, CCL, down there, ACO, ACL, all the other different ones, Battle of the Queens is not an ACL sanctioned event. It's its own entity, right? So you could get regulations across all the different organizations for their own events, and then walk into this one and have a completely different set of boards and stuff that you're dealing with, right?
Yep. But you could also be playing against somebody that's not playing regulation bags, technically, right?
Right.
You could be playing someone that's playing with maybe a smaller template, maybe a bigger template with a different fill that might clog the hole more than you used to, right? So it becomes a little harder.
Like Chris said, the disc golf basket's different from major tournaments because they're not all the same. But then, sure, they fit in the specs, but they're still very different
and expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. I mean, when you look at it too, where I might be a Monday night hero at my local league because it's a local board being played, right? So I might be really good, and I might beat everybody every week, and I'm on the podium, but when I go play on a regulated board, it might be very different.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. But you got to realize that to move this sport forward, there has to be more regulations, and it's got to be controlled a little differently than it has in the past. And that's why, the ACL is moving towards a lot more regulations in order to make it a standard for tournaments. And I know everybody thinks it's going to cost more money. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. But I can tell you, a lot of the manufacturers are working to keep quality up and cost reasonable. I'm not going to say cost down, because it's never going to be cost down.
No.
Because there's a lot of labor that goes into building a set of boards and the machinery and everything else. Listen, I've seen 7 machines that literally blow my mind with what they can do in a day. And then just the maintenance to keep them going. But we, as ambassadors of the game, players of the game, we just got to keep going forward to help these companies as they go forward. But we also have to be realists at the same time, right?
Yep.
When you're playing any sport, it costs you a little bit of ticket of admission. And I know there's some pushback down here because you don't win money in certain things anymore. You get a trophy.
Win money and everything in Canada, so come up and play in Canada.
Yeah, but that's only like a loony and a toonie.
We got big stuff.
But you know what? Quite honestly, like, as much as some people griped about the board conditions with Battle, I like going and learning the different conditions and how to throw in them and how to adapt to them, right? Because if you have the same conditions all the time, what are you learning? It's like throwing bags. I remember when I started, somebody's like, you find a bag, you stay with it. Okay, but what if you're in a situation that you can't throw that bag? Well, now you've just screwed yourself because you can't figure out how to throw somebody else's bag.
Mm.
I have no problem throwing other people's bags.
Well, that's the thing. In a blind draw, like especially Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, if I'm out playing, a lot of times, and don't tell my sponsor, but I will throw everybody else's bags.
Yep.
Right? Because, one, I need to understand what that bag's going to do based on my throw. So I can tell other people how the bag I throw in that bag reacts to how I throw and how I would adjust. So I think that just makes me a better ambassador for the brand in other bags too, right? How it's going to react to the way listen, I can tell people how to throw a bag. I just can't usually do it 99% of the time.
Now, Chris has another honest question here. The discs fly differently because he's a disc golf player. Discs fly differently at certain elevations. Is it? I really had to play at too much elevation, but
no, but I think elevation, sometimes can affect it too. Like you're playing in Colorado, the bag might react a little bit differently. Because you're talking, atmospheric pressure and all that other stuff. So it's gonna react differently at the same time too. But I think the biggest thing for cornhole, unlike disc golf is 99% of the time outside, right?
Yeah.
So they're dealing with all the weather conditions, where a lot of times it depends on where people play. You're not dealing with those weather conditions most of the time, right? There's a lot of pros that don't like to play outside.
Yes.
Right? Because they can't handle the wind. There's a lot of pros that don't like inside because they've figured out how to make the bag cut in the wind or do other things, right? So our sport adds a little different element where, like, a disc golfer is always going to figure out what's going on, right? You might see throw 15 degrees to the right because the wind is coming across and they know what that particular disc is going to do and how it's going to go, where cornhole really is, all right, I'm going to wait for this gust to stop, or if I throw it as a cutter, it's going to work,
I struggled with that last night at league. I don't know if there was a gust of wind in the facility, but if I was standing directly, throwing at the board, I was going the left all the time. So I actually would have to point my body this way to get it to throw straight that way.
Well, Doug, I think if you were standing on the board, you might have missed.
Well, probably. Yes, because Chris, and we talk about this all the time, that he's baffled with the explosion of the disc golf and cornhole. Just
well, listen, here's
because I don't know even how they're the same basically as well.
I just think we need to create a summit, right? We need to get some of the disc golf people together, some of the cornhole people together, and maybe we have we match up some of us with some of them, and we play as teams for the ultimate winner, and we'll get let's see, disc golf has that basket with all the chains in it, right? So maybe we get some chains to hang under the boards or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We didn't play in a gym Facebook user. We played in a moose lodge.
Well, we have a crossover from disc golf to cornhole, and that's Biggs.
Well, yes,
Cassidy.
Yeah.
But wait, is that Canadian disc golf?
Yep.
Where they go from what is that? Iceberg to iceberg?
Yes. Yes. And then when they go to retrieve their disc, they have to go on sled dog.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
The seals bring them over.
Yeah, that was probably the number one question I got when I was down in North Carolina is what is the weather like?
Do you own a sled dog? Oh, no. Sorry. I'm wrong question.
No.
One thing I do want to bring up before we do go out of here in a couple minutes was if you're going to Niagara and you're getting there early, check out the newest ACL league in Ontario, BK Cornhole. They're having a Wednesday night pre-open swap. So that is at the Columbus Club, formerly Our Lady of Peace Hall, which is 6990 Stanley Avenue, which will be just down from where the venue will be. $15 to drop in. Doors open at 6. Bags fly at 6:30. Top winners paid cash. All ages. Bring a friend. You get 5 games.
But what
at night?
What's the non-drop-in price?
No, free because you're not going to be there. Right?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out, it doesn't everybody.
Oh, we're back to there. Okay, let's put us back in a row.
He's learned a new button.
I get a new button. Yep.
Listen, he's freaking Captain Button over here.
I messed up on the names, but I'm Captain Button.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna call you Benjamin from now on.
Well, you know what? And to be honest, I'm maybe I was taking a little page because one of our friends struggled last night, and so it's I have to kind of maybe I was just following in his footsteps today because he had a little rough. He started off really great, but then he had a little rough. He kind of
Was that somebody that just moved, or who was that?
But he got up and
he walked. He was able to walk over he was having fun last night.
he was definitely having fun last night.
I watched a pro that
See you later, Chris.
I watched a pro that wears a floppy hat one time, came up and partied with us, and he literally was passed out on the bar, head down. They called him for his game, literally got up like a basketball player, ripped his pants off because he had tearaway pants, got up and just threw airmails like crazy. And that man last year was a world champion.
Nope, there's no way I could do it.
Back when he
As Steve said, our friend staggered safely.
Yeah.
He staggered safely, baby.
Yeah.
But no, listen, here's the thing. Like, we all get to have fun playing this silly, silly game. We all get to meet some amazing people. Like, that story is great because now we can make fun of him for a long time. But he can make fun of us because he passed out and then rallied and probably still beat other people. Listen, when I take a nap, I'm out for hours.
Yeah.
I've hidden under certain vendors' tables just to take a nap. I might have taken a nap in Asheville under the fire booth.
There's times I may have taken a nap during a live feed. Drummondville comes to mind last year with the music in that venue.
Listen, I took a nap in...
I know you took a nap in Drummondville because you said you were going to be right back, and you never came back.
Listen, I fell asleep with a cheeseburger on my chest. I stopped and got dinner and passed out.
Okay.
I felt like Pookie.
But yes, so we've gone the hour 17. I'm surprised my voice has lasted this long because it was a rough day.
Listen, all that's made my voice last is my sponsor, Miller Lite.
Well, then I'm going to use both those excuses as to why I'm much louder than you on the mics.
Yep. But yeah. So we'll see. We'll try and come back next week. I'll be in Delhi. That's an hour drive home, and I'm not sure how late he's going to go in Delhi there. But yeah, check out tomorrow. Check out. I don't know, Mitch. If James ever going to have a live feed going for there, I'm not sure if they have sometimes. So check out For Joe Cornhole on Facebook. They'll probably have some sort of video going. I know James goes live all the time. And then November 16th, I will be in Delhi. Check out the Down and Back page here. I'll be going live from there. Look. Jonathan sent me a message today of what all they have. They have a good turnout for open singles, open doubles, advanced singles, competitive singles still has room, competitive doubles, intermediate all the way down to novice, and then junior. They're almost maxed for I think there's spot for 2 more players for junior down there. That is almost maxed out. So I'll be having maybe a bit of everyone, all skill levels on live field. I'll tell Jonathan I'm going to have the final at least for every division. We'll probably have a lot of the junior stuff on there to get those kids some airtime, which is I'm gonna call it right now. I'm gonna say Mason Miller's going to win it in a double dip. And
you know what, John and Adam with Delhi, they always put on a good event. They're some of my other favorite people, so it's always a good time.
Yep. And remember, if you're there next week, I have some East Coast Cornhole patches that I'll have for sale there. You can be able to grab those. You don't have to pay shipping costs then. You can get them right there. So, anything else?
I think that's it. We lost. Did we lose Donnie? What's going on there?
No, I had to because I was coughing. No, I think we did good, Doug. I think we got it. We got the information out there.
I think so. It was, some fun. Remember, sign up for Niagara, it's probably, I'm going to guess by now it's like at least over 50% sold out, at least for the doubles portion. Singles will probably almost there as well now that it's opened up to everybody and the schedule is out. We'll be doing the CCF will be doing a qualifier on the Friday morning. Still working that out, whether I will be going live for that. If not, everything else has been pushed back 3 hours. We'll be going, I think it's noon or 1 for the women's, juniors, and senior singles.
That's at noon.
That's at noon. So, yeah. So it's all been pushed back. So it's,
hey,
we're having some fun there.
Cito was signing in from Vegas. He went to Baggerland Brawl.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just watching a live video right now. I'm like, wow, what is this? He's out at the casino right now doing 3 hours ago he did a little walkthrough. That's what I'm catching it late. Pretty cool.
Yep. So then we'll have that, all those singles in the afternoon, and then the evening we'll have the first round of ACL Canada teams. Then the Saturday we'll have rounders on the down and back in the morning, bracket in the afternoon for doubles, then pro singles in the evening, pro doubles Sunday morning, and then finish it off with the open singles on Sunday afternoon. Long weekend of cornhole, but it will be a fun weekend of cornhole. More news coming up on that, on some stuff that'll be going on in the live feeds. It'll be a fun time, and I can't wait for it.
I'm looking forward to some big stuff from Canada in the next upcoming weeks with all the big stuff going on. And I look forward to hearing from all my friends about what's going on with
because you get to see Michelle finally, because she skipped the first event in her pro debut.
Listen,
I was watching.
She was an ambassador for Canada and did an amazing job.
Thank you. Oh, Jody did an amazing job as well.
Yes, and we will have the contest. Where's Jody flying in from for Niagara? But and do you know who else does an amazing job? Down below, East Coast Cornhole. Check them out. They'll have a store. Check out their Facebook page. You can go to the store. Jamie with JC Cornhole. I still need to get to that shop now that he's changed it all over. Over on your side, Donnie, underneath you, we got CR Property Inspections. I've seen some great stuff about Darren put on Facebook. People go and check him out if you're in the Edmonton, Alberta area, which I know we have cornhole players in Edmonton. If you need to find out where the best place to store your boards over the winter, Darren will tell you. And then there's that other over there, that bag company that's down over your shoulder, underneath you. There you go, right there. Yeah. It got a lot brighter once you did that.
Well, it's because I hit the light, so my white balance goes off. I look scary.
Can't even see Titan bags, and of course, it'll be right in the middle. It's the perfect spot because that's all we ever do on this show, or when we're playing cornhole, we're just winging it. And then you're going to go to the restaurant and grab some wings. They've got a bunch of new specials coming out. They still don't have a corn dog special, which I got to talk to Glenn about that. But
hey, listen, no script, just
no
wing.
script. Yes, and remember setting stars, because once we get to 10,000 stars, we will be giving away this jersey to anyone who has done stars. Where's that here now? It's right there. You're gonna want to get on this jersey. You'll be able to put your own name and your own number on it, but you'll get on that there. Once we get to 10,000 stars, we'll give away a jersey. What's better than that?
Can I change the flag?
What flag? Good flag.
Was that? Is it? Yes, I like the flag. It's great.
Yeah. So yeah, put it back in a row. See, I can on that. Camera changes. I am on.
Listen, you have been captain transition tonight. You're nailing it.
Yeah,
nailing it.
I did really good in Calgary until I talked about it, and then yeah.
Listen, we're just gonna need to get you a checklist for next week if we're on. But hey, you're killing it, kid.
I'm trying to. But yeah.
Wait, can I say that in Canada, or is that bad?
Yeah, no, you can say
No,
that.
you're
And
fine.
remember, I did share a spot. There's an oyster. You go to an oyster bar because they have Harris Beach Spirits at an oyster bar.
Wait a minute,
in Niagara Falls.
Numbering those or something today or something like. Is there like a little handwritten number underneath the Harris Beat Spirits, or was that?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
I saw something with booze being labeled, and I was all excited.
Okay.
I like booze.
And then if you're also in Niagara at the Queenston Lewiston duty free, you can pick up Harris Beach Spirits there. So it's if you're in the States coming over into Canada, stop at the duty free and you can pick up some Harris Beach Spirits there and have at the tournament. Don't bring it into the venue. Don't bring it into the venue. Don't be we're really good in Calgary. Actually, you know what? That's not actually. Well, I'm gonna give me another couple minutes here. We had the alcohol down pat in Calgary. No one brought alcohol in. We were good. But I know it is legal. I did hear that the venue kind of did talk to some people from the organizers. If you're going to smoke, there's a 5-meter distance from the front doors of a venue. Go by that.
So
there was some issues in Calgary.
So for my American friends, that's like over 15 feet. Okay.
Yeah. There was some issues with that in Calgary that the venue was saying, hey, there was some stuff coming into the facility.
But that happens a lot, though, at a lot of tournaments, right? Where people want to smoke right outside the door. You got to remember, there's other people in the venue.
Yep.
We just got to be respectful. Don't bring in outside alcohol. And listen, hit your pen 100 feet away. Go back out to where the cars are. Nobody cares unless we piss the other people off and lose the venue.
Yes. Yep. So with that, I'm like talked out this week. Like I'm almost ready for bed. It's only 20:11. Wow. But anyway, everyone have fun with each other. Remember any veterans that we've lost on Monday with Remembrance Day here in Canada. I believe you guys are Veterans Day down there in the States.
Veterans Day down here, yes.
And Monday, yeah. So at 11:11 on Monday morning, remember those that have fallen, and so everyone else have fun. Remember why we get to play cornhole, because of what we were remembering on Monday, and just be nice to each other. That's all we ask. See you, everyone.
Good night.